Hey guys, my mother and I last night went to go and see Whitney, I Want to Dance with Somebody. And I've seen biopics before. Like, I have reviewed Running Man on this channel. And I felt like this was almost a very much a snapshot of Whitney's life. We don't really go into much of her life before she was discovered by Stanley Tucci's character. But other than that, I felt like I got to know Whitney just a bit more better, and I think it came off as she came as a lot more sympathetic than what most people think. I know when it comes to the soundtrack, when you hear the actor who plays Whitney sing, it's actually not the actor herself. It's actually Whitney's vocals that come out, which, as someone who has seen other actors portraying real people, they actually sing their voices. I'm going back to Rocketman as an example. With Rocketman, it wasn't Elton's voice coming out of Taron. It was Taron's voice coming out of Elton. So I would have preferred if they actually got an actor who is actually a double threat to actually do the movie. That's coming from a bit of a film snob side of me. But I have to say, the actor that they did pick to play Whitney, I thought she did an absolutely brilliant job portraying such a complex person like Whitney. She really got to the emotional core of what Whitney was to the world, and this movie really dived into, I think, the helicopter parents that Whitney actually had, and which made me feel more sympathetic towards Whitney. Her father was very, very controlling, and I think I could see why she wanted to pull away from her old man. I'm not saying anything that no one could easily Google about Whitney. And I think there's sort of like five real strong relationships within the movie. You have Whitney and her girlfriend / manager. You have her parent, her mum and dad. You have Bobby Brown. And then you have then you have her record executive, I would say, or / substitute father, which is Stanley Tucci's character. That would have to be, I think, her and the best friend / manager's relationships is probably the strongest one she has in her life. I think with the girlfriend or / manager, she came off as very more raw with her, and she was the only one that really not see Whitney as a pop star or a cash cow in the sense of a father, but as a real flesh and blood person who needs to take a break. She saw her as a real person with real vulnerabilities and real cares. And then with Stanley's character, the record producer, he worked with his talent. I don't know if this happens with all record producers or this was specifically his personal style, but the fact that he would go to Whitney with X song or Y or Z. He actually went to Whitney with the songs, and she chose the songs herself, not this is what you got to sing. And at one stage, towards while she looked like she was really struggling, he said at the start of the relationship, I would never go personal with my clients. He stepped over that line and said, Whitney, you need to go into rehab. And I thought, the way Stanley, he's the only one I know out of the whole cast, which is really weird. The fact that he would speak to her so like a father would speak to a child really said a lot about their relationship, that he would care enough to step over a line he created and say, girl, you need help. You need some serious help. And I think going back to the Bobby Brown relationship, that was very, very toxic. And I believe in real life, it was very toxic. And I think it sort of led to her death, sadly enough. I think this was so well researched, not just in the script form, but also in the design of the costumes and the sets. I think it really felt like they captured the times that we actually see Whitney throughout the story. And I think they would have used a lot of archive footage, like when she sang the national anthem, to really get the looks of all her performances correct. And this would have taken a lot of research, a lot of time to create. And I think I would have personally preferred if this was released pre her death. I've seen a lot of bios that the subject actually gets a say in how they are portrayed, which I think would have brought a bit more authenticity, and it would have helped the actor who portrayed Whitney to play her a bit more better, because she could have gone to Whitney and said, what was it like working on The Bodyguard? What was it like creating your first album? What was this? It would have helped her a lot out creating her character. And so that, I think that I feel like it might have hindered the performance a bit. But overall, I would seriously consider picking this up for my mother, who, by the way, is a big Whitney Houston fan. I am pulling up The Bodyguard, and he also owns The Preacher's Wife, which, by the way, she pulls out every Christmas. She laughs. And she's a great singer, great actor. I feel like this movie did her justice. But I would have preferred if this was released in her lifetime, not post her lifetime. That's the only flaw I find with this movie. I would have preferred pre, not post. But I walked away with a better appreciation of Whitney Houston, her life and career. Now, have you seen Whitney Houston? I want to dance with somebody. Please write it down in the comment section below. And if you think you would like a movie being reviewed, and I have been told to do Hysteria. I've already been massively spoiled with that movie, and I don't know if I could bring any more to that movie. I probably won't do it. So I shall see you very soon. Ciao.